right, so welcome everyone today. Our topic today is branch reports, which is pretty exciting because we do have a lot of questions about branch reports, so please feel free to ask if you're not sure on something, or you might have a question that's frequently asked among your circles or in your branch, so by all means ask on behalf of those people as well. And we will go onto the website and have a look at where the branch reports are so that you know exactly how to use the online branch reporting, and also the version where you can download, print and then scan an email or send it to your division president. So we'll have a look at those as well. So what's in Country Kitchens for you? I bet you all know already, but it's all about contributing to your community, and we are strong believers of that, and to make your community, or help to make your community, healthier and happier. So who loves sharing recipes with family and friends? Me, everyone. I actually wrote a recipe book for my girls last Christmas, just on the computer, nothing fancy, no binding, of all my favourite recipes, because two of my girls have left home and got married, and oh no, three now, because number 3's just moved to Brisbane. Oh, that's a bit sad, to study. And I gave them all a copy of the recipe book and they use it quite a bit. So it's always gives you a nice feeling when you can share that with family and friends, doesn't it? So let's get the right page here. So we aim as Country Kitchens Health Promotion Team leaders to provide support to all of our branch facilitators, and we're very available. So make sure that you know who your health promotion team leader is. And I understand we've got 2 new girls that have just started, and I haven't even met them yet. I've only seen photos on Facebook, and I look forward. We've got a team meeting tomorrow online, so I'll get to meet them online tomorrow. But I understand they're doing a wonderful job and they will be an asset to the program. So I hope you all get to know those 2 new ladies as well. And we're here to answer your everyday questions and help you to become fabulous facilitators. And as we mentioned before, to feel inspired to cook healthier and to teach others in your community. So as you know, we've got our healthy catering guidelines, and we'd like you to always refer to your healthy catering guidelines when you're either not just when you're catering, but also when you're cooking for family, for friends, for an event or a showcase, etc. Always take a look at your healthy catering guidelines, and that'll help you with not just food safety, but also knowing is your recipe healthy. You can use the tools in there. You can have a look at the Australian Dietary Guidelines, serving sizes, and all sorts of information. Actually, I'm hoping, Glenys and Judy, that our healthy cooking guideline new version will be out very soon. It's been a while, hasn't it, since we submitted that?
Yeah, hopefully it's out before the regional meeting.
Yeah, because Southern region is soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
When is that? April, yeah, I think.
The end of April.
Yeah. So hopefully, what's that, Glenys?
Cynthia just joined us.
Oh, Cynthia.
Hello.
Cynthia.
Hello, lady.
Hello, Cynthia. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I can't see your face. How do I get this thing?
No, I think it's the light in this room. I've tried to make it darker, but there's a lot of light. I look as if I'm in heaven or something.
That's all right. So today, Cynthia, thanks for joining us. We're just talking about branch reports, which I haven't got into the detail yet. We're just talking a bit about the program to begin with. So can you see the PowerPoint okay?
Yes, thanks.
That's good. So now I might get you to use the mute button, Cynthia, while I'm talking. And if you'd like to ask a question, just unmute yourself and ask away. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
No worries. Also, not to forget our wonderful cookbooks, ladies. I find those black and white cookbooks are flying out the door. A lot of branches are, yeah, I see a few nods. Valerie's nodding her head. I've had a few branches buy a box full lately, and they, well, it's much more economical. And they're really flying out the door. And of course, we've got our workshops. So as you know, we've got our Oak Tree workshops, village workshops that have started. Glenys, give us a quick 1-minute rundown on how that's been going with the Oak Tree.
The facilitators will be really pleased. Management and participants of the Oak Tree Villages were just so happy. And the facilitators, I must add, playing a very, the facilitators are playing a very important part. So I'm not sure anyone that's on today is near an oak tree, but and it was particularly interesting because the 2 new health promotion officers, one for the southern region, we actually have one now. We didn't have one before. We had Fiona. So in the southern region, we've got Lindsay Nash. And in the northern region, we have Anna Lynch. And
Good.
I met them in Gundawindi. And we also went to Warwick. They had watched Fiona sort of do the presentation on Tuesday in Toowoomba, and by Thursday they had done the presentation all by themselves. Friday they were totally out by themselves at Goodna because Fiona had to go back to Gundawindi, so they're very proficient. But it was really good to see people, and Oak Tree actually are paying for it. So providing the venue, so it's taking some hassles out of the presentation. But they made morning tea while it was cooking. They had a healthy talk. Then they ate the morning tea, which was frittata. Then they learned how to modify a recipe, and each made lunch, and it was very well received. And in Warwick, there were 3 gentlemen. They had a great time.
Great.
More than a minute.
That's awesome. Thanks, Glenys. It definitely sounds like it's going well. So our Oak Tree Village workshops kick off on Monday in Central Region, and we have 4 right here. So we have 2 in Yeppoon and 2 in Rockhampton. So I've had to drag in all of my facilitators that are close by so they can help, and I'm really looking forward to it. And they are beautiful venues with air conditioning. How good is that? So that's great.
Rachel,
right. Yeah,
it's Val.
Yeah, Val.
On the Bigger Country Kitchens book, on the hardcover one.
Yeah.
On page 90, there's an apple slice.
Mhm.
And it has 500 mils of sour cream. Would that be a misprint?
500 mils. That's about 2 cups of sour cream.
Yes, it's a lot of sour cream.
Where's my book?
I'd make the same recipe.
I was going to grab my book, but I think I've got it down in the other room. Okay, that could be.
I make the same recipe, but I use 125 mil.
Okay. I'll check it out for you and I'll let you know.
Thank you.
And I'll tell, no, I don't know what we do about it. We just send an email out. And fix the ones that haven't been printed yet. All right. Yeah, that seems way too much. Okay, so you might have seen this little page before about joining us on our path to better health. So we are here to improve lives of women and their families, and men, of course. We've had men in the Oak Tree Village workshops as well, so that's been great. And connect with, you know, existing members to engage in the Country Kitchens experience And we're here to engage, not just engage, but empower and support our branch facilitators. So this is another page which you've probably seen before as well, with our 5 key messages down the side: our get more fruit and veg, cook at home, be aware of sugar in your drinks, sit less, move more, and check your portion size. So it's all about, we just want to start a conversation, engage in Country Kitchen's planning in some capacity, whether it's, you know, starting with sharing our monthly munch at your branch meetings, or whether it's doing a recipe promotion to take a nice recipe to a meeting, a showcase, or right up to advocating up to the higher levels there. So you can all contribute in some way. So branch reports. All branches need to send their reports in every month. So if the branch doesn't have a Country Kitchens facilitator, because some don't, then the branch president is responsible for compiling the report. Branch presidents should be aware of that. However, we're still not receiving anywhere near as many reports as we would like to. So it'd be great if you ladies could help spread the word. And that way we will hopefully get more branch reports in. The other important thing, are you all registered as a branch facilitator online? Have you all done that? Anyone not done that yet? No. Wonderful. So if you, sorry, who's that?
It's Glenys.
Oh, Glenys, yep.
Yeah. So even if they've registered previously, they actually need to re-register online. If they're already
Correct.
registered, they may not have understood that you have to re-register on your computer.
That's correct. Well, thanks, Glenys. Yeah. So you need to re-register online. Has everyone done that?
Well, I have, but can Glenys tell us if we are or we aren't, or can you tell us?
Yeah, I'll have to. I can't see behind the scenes to see who has registered online via the website, but I can ask Kate. Or I'll ask Kate because she'll be able to access that. Who has? And I might.
Donahue?
What's that, Glenys?
Michelle Donahue?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you have Michelle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will go on here onto the website shortly, and I'll show you where you would have done that, and then how you will be able to fill out the branch report online. If you're a registered, if you have re-registered, it'll show that. So for those who are not a Country Kitchens facilitator and obviously can't access that branch report via that way, they can use the non-fillable form on the website, print it out, and then scan and send it to your division president and regional facilitator. So we'll have a look at that on the website as well soon. So the current branch report is version 7. So we've done 7 versions, I think, in a very short space of time to try and make it as user-friendly as possible. As I mentioned, we've got an online non-fillable form that can be downloaded, and it should always be forwarded to your division president. So what needs to go in a branch report? Let's have a look at that. So everything that is done that's Country Kitchens related really needs to go on a branch report. Here's a lovely photo of some ladies who did a showcase at Bunnings. I think that was right before Christmas. So we've got June and Helen from Wandle branch and Margaret from Emu Park branch. So they got a hold of the promo gear and they had quite a few resources there and a lot of interest. I think it was a ladies' night at Bunnings, which is a great opportunity to do a showcase and get the community aware of Country Kitchens. So all activities involving either Country Kitchen's recipes, our 5 key messages, which we talked about, I mentioned earlier, any community activity. So it could be an event at a local fete or fair. It could be your local markets. It could be partnerships with primary school kids or men's sheds or girl guides. What else, Judy? What else? You'll have to unmute yourself, Jude.
Yeah, any sort of activity that you can think of in the community or in your branches, sharing recipes and that sort of thing.
That's right.
Anything you do, which is sort of interwoven with a lot of things, even using your resources for your country of study and your the product of the year, and all those have got really good resources that you can tap into. So please use them because they really are good.
Thanks, Judy. That's great. That's a good reminder of the resources that are online there too that you can access no problem. So there's a lovely Lithuanian resource there and a recipe booklet. And then, the honeybee resource for the product of the year, and our gut health, Crohn's and colitis resource is just needing a little bit more work, tiny bit of editing from Queensland Health, and it'll be up online as well for you to use, which I think will be a great resource. So when we do our branch reports, we want as much detail as we can get in there. So we want location, event that you're having, the date, and also how many people came and visited your showcase or your community activity, whatever it is you're holding. I mean, it'd be great if we had exact numbers, but that's not always possible, especially if you're busy. So just some idea of how many might have talked to you, come and asked questions about Country Kitchens, and how many might have taken a recipe card or a flyer, or even a taste of your taste tester that you might have at a showcase. So we like to know all those things, and Queensland Health like to know all those things. The other thing we like to have on the branch report is how many CWA members are present at your event, and was there any key community influencers? So what I mean by that is, apart from QCWA members, was the local mayor there, or was the local school principal there at a school event or a fair or that sort of thing? So I guess they're the important people in town that might come to those events. So it's great if we know whether they were there. So the reports need to be sent to the regional facilitator via email, and you can scan and send in the form if you haven't done it via the website online. I'm just going to have a drink of water. So as I mentioned earlier, the branches without email, which is sometimes, there's a few, there's not a lot, most have email now. Do all of you ladies have email? Yes, yes.
Yes.
Good. So without email though, it can always post the branch report to your divisional president, who will then send a copy to the regional facilitator. Eventually they all get to me seems like via a few people, but we like to have the divisional president see the branch reports. So the regional facilitators, so that's Glenys, Judy and Rose in Central. Rose isn't here today, she's away for a couple of weeks. They will compile a short report for the state vice president for the monthly meeting, state executive board, so they can see what's going on. Now, the magic number for when I would like branch reports in is by the 7th of the following month. So if you're reporting for March, for example, we would like all branch reports sent in by the 7th of April. Does that all make sense? Yeah. Great, because I find that the longer you leave it, then the more you forget. So even if you've done a few things during the month, you might want to jot it down. So the regional facilitator does provide all the reports to the Country Kitchens team. As I mentioned, I get all the central region reports, and then I enter them, and so will the other health promotion team leaders, into a big quality report. So we enter all the data we get into a report, and that then gets forwarded on to Queensland Health. And who would like to tell me why that's important? How about you, Valerie?
To show that we're using the government money correctly.
Good answer.
Funding.
Someone said for funding.
Yes.
Jane.
Jane, good on you, Jane. That's correct, because soon we will find out if we get another 3 years funding for the program, which would be amazing. So if we have, because I know sometimes there's things going on out there that ladies are doing country kitchens wise, and it's not always getting reported. So we do try and keep a close eye on the Facebook page, or sometimes there's a newspaper article, or it's word of mouth or something like that. So it's really sometimes hard for us to keep up with what's going on, because the regions are quite large. But if we can get our reports in, then it's all written there in front of us, so it's easy for us to put into our quality report. And there's a nice little photo too down the bottom. That's in Nambour North Coast. I'm pretty sure that's Judy Stubbs there, and Yvonne, and I'm not sure who the other lady. Does anyone know the other lady with the blue dress? No.
No, I don't, but I was there that day.
You were there that day, Cynthia?
Yeah, that was a garden party that Yvonne had at her house.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's lovely. That was nice, and that got reported. And they had the seed. Did you have the seed packs there?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I thought so. That's great. All right. So the more active the branch is with the country kitchens, then the more fields on the report that will be completed. So try and provide as much detail as possible. I don't mind if you write tons of detail. We can decipher through it. As we said, Queensland Health want to know the numbers. Hey, Valerie. They want to know the numbers. So if you've got great ideas also, or need other resources, please write it on the bottom of your report. If there's any questions you have, and we will try and meet those requests. And if you've got a fantastic idea, we'll share it with our team, and hopefully we can help you with anything that you need there. Oh, there's my phone making noises. So facilitators can help branches to complete reports. It doesn't have to be someone from the executive. I'd prefer it's the facilitator, because they know what they've been doing. And the facilitators can help new branches. So if you know of a new branch that's nearby and they have, or a new facilitator, you can show them how to table the monthly munch and celebrate being a facilitator and any other country kitchens activities they have. So that's, I guess, where we want them to start, is print out the monthly munch, take it to a meeting and have a chat to their members about what's in it. It's not long, it's only 4 pages. There's always some good information about the 5 key messages, and we usually try and have something different each month. And there is a recipe in there each month. Actually, I just found out today that the recipe in the March newsletter is missing an ingredient. So I've just sent an email to Kate to see if she can fix it up. It's a watermelon salad, Glenys. And it's got a photo with the watermelon, feta, and it hasn't, Valerie's shaking her head, it hasn't got the baby spinach or the rocket, whatever you'd like to put in it, and it hasn't got it either in the recipe ingredient list or the method. So anyway, you're all smart cookies. You would have worked that out. So we encourage all branches to cook a healthy recipe and bring it to QCWA event or branch meeting. I do have healthy baking rosters or cooking rosters, which we could be sending out actually to all facilitators. And I've given a few out over the past couple of months. So it's just a table that has, you could make it up yourself on a Word document. You could have a roster, take the roster to your branch meeting and say, ladies, who would like to cook a healthy Country Kitchens recipe twice a year or once a year? If you get half a dozen helpers or who say, yeah, I'll do that, you'll only have to do it twice a year. Depends on how often you have a meeting. And that way we share the load. Even if they're not facilitators, they can cook a recipe, right? And then they can bring it along to the meeting, and you can have a chat about the recipe, why it's healthier, and how it meets the Country Kitchens criteria. And then you'll have to take a photo and put it where? Cynthia? Unmute yourself, Cynthia. Where will we put the photo once we take it of a nice, beautiful recipe we've cooked for a branch meeting?
Monthly munch.
Well, that's a good idea. There's another option.
Facebook.
Facebook, wonderful. So on the Fabulous Facilitator Network, we want to see, we don't just want the branch report, we want to see what you've been doing on Facebook. So if you can take a nice photograph and post it and put some detail on there, so what recipe you've cooked, why it's healthier, and how everyone loved it, of course. And use the 5 key messages. So the flip cards, if you haven't got a set of flip cards, please go to the website, to the resources order form, and order a set of flip cards. They're really great to motivate members and to think about their health. So there's one set for each of the 5 key messages. And in particular, the Be Aware of Sugar in Your Drinks activity is really simple but effective. So you could use, I don't know if you've all seen it, but you can get 4, 5, 6 different drinks that are usually loaded full of sugar. So I use a soft drink, an energy drink, a flavoured milk, a juice, and maybe one of those iced teas. And then I have the little squares of sugar cubes, and the flip cards go along with those and tell us how many teaspoons of sugar in each of those, but you can read the back and work it out per gram. So there's 4 grams of sugar in 1 teaspoon. So if it says there's 40 grams, then there's 10 teaspoons of sugar in that drink. So you can have a little cup there and people can spoon the cubes in, and they can guess at a showcase or an event, they can guess how many spoons of sugar are in there, which is often a big shock. So that's something you can write in your branch report as well. Do you have anything else to add there, maybe Glenys? Or Jane?
Yeah, I'm thinking it is really important, if people have got any concern, no matter how small, please share. And you might be worrying about nothing. That's something I learned very early, and there's always somebody in the team has an answer. We don't have to know everything, so if you want help with something, just ask and we'll point you in the right direction.
That's great advice, Glenys. When I started my uni degree as a mature age lady, one of the first things that the lecturers said is there's no silly question. And you can be guaranteed that if you're thinking of, you're wanting to ask that a question, then somebody else is thinking the same thing. So always reach out for help, either via your regional facilitators, so Glenys, Judy and Rose, or via your health promotion team leaders, or an email, no problem. All right, so we're going to go and have a look on the website now. So I'll just share the right screen. Okay, can you all see the website? Judy, no? No?
No.
Okay, just a second.
Your branch report.
Can you see it now?
No.
No.
No, still PowerPoint.
Okay, I'll just stop share and then we'll go back. All right, you see the website now?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so up here on the right is your facilitator login, okay? So, well, firstly, I'll show you, if you're not registered on via the website online, see the resources tab that I'm on now? Then there's branch report under that tab. So I can go here and there you'll see a blue link here and you can click on that and this will bring up version 7. Can you all see the branch report there? Yes. So it's pretty straightforward, but you'll have your branch, your division, your region, who's filling out the report. So if it's the facilitator, make sure you tick there, but it could be the secretary or the branch president, etc. Now for the month, so there seems to be a little bit of confusion about what do I put in here. So like I mentioned before, if we're getting our branch reports in by, say, the 7th of the month, so let's say we're reporting for March, so we want to put March in there, even though we're sending it on the 7th of April, because the report is all about the things you were doing in March for Country Kitchens, okay? So sometimes I've had people write April in there, but they haven't done anything in April because they feel like they're reporting in April. Does that make sense? Did someone have a question there? No? No. Okay, so make sure you are aware of what month you're writing in there. And then we come down to tabling the monthly munch and mentioning the highlights like I talked about earlier. So you'll just put a tick in there because I'm sure you're all taking the monthly munch to a branch meeting and sharing that with the ladies. If you've cooked a healthy recipe, so a healthy recipe promotion or catering, including recipe from Country Kitchen's cookbook or the website, who knows how many recipes you've got to choose from? Valerie, do you know how many recipes you've got to choose from? If you unmute yourself.
Oh, about 400.
Excellent answer. So over 400. I think I might have mentioned that at International and a couple other things I've been at. So there's a lot of recipes to choose from. So you shouldn't get sick of them. And if you don't forget, if you've got a recipe that's not in the recipe cookbooks that you often use and you think, oh, that might be, that might meet the criteria for Country Kitchens, make sure you get it into us and we can check that against the criteria and we can have new recipes coming all the time. So you'll tick yes if you've done that, a recipe there. So the other thing is describing activities that you've used your healthy catering guidelines in your branch. I know that there's a lot of ladies that aren't using their healthy catering guidelines, so we're trying to improve that. So this is where you would write, well, yes, we did some external catering and I used my healthy catering guidelines. I checked the food safety. I checked the catering ideas. I checked it against the healthy nutrition guidelines, etc. So make sure that you pop that in there if you did that. And here's where you write showcase. So like I mentioned earlier, if you did a showcase at, like one lady recently did one at the Queensland Women's Week at the local college in Yeppoon here. So she would write in here, Queensland Women's Week, St Ursula's College display or showcase. How many people? She said she was inundated with people actually, which was great.
Good.
Yeah, wonderful. She said there was all these stalls there relating to finance for women, and hers was more about the cook at home message because that lines up with finance, right? And she shared our other 5 key messages, and she said they just kept coming over to her and all these other stands were empty. So I was like, yay. So she would write all that detail there. And were there any important people? Well, key community influencers there. So yeah, the school principal was there, and I think one of these local councillors was there. So she would write that down. The next thing is potential partnerships. So describing any potential partnerships, branch or CK facilitator meetings with local community members to discuss country kitchens. So if you're looking at possibly partnering with the local primary school, for example, then you would likely go and have a meeting with them. And if you're unsure how to do that or what to take along with you, contact us or your regional facilitator and we can help with that. So you would write down that potential partnership here and say, I visited with the local school. They would like to start cooking classes with the children in May next year, once every fortnight, and that will keep you posted. Here is the name of the community. That's where you put the agency or partner organisation in here. So this down here, this box is where the community activity is, a little bit more detail. So of your community activity. So it might have been sharing the 5 key messages. It might have been an interactive class. Our Back to Basics. So you know that all of our Back to Basics resources are online for you to use. So if you'd like to do a little mini workshop with a group or a school, etc., that's where you'll get all your guidelines in there. If you've done a showcase, like I mentioned before, or a community garden, or even crafty foodies or advocacy, all those things will be described and written in here. And then we just like you to tick alongside here which 5 key messages were promoted. Often it's all of them, because if you've got resources that you're displaying on a table or something, you might have flyers, a 5 key message card, etc., the sugar activity, you might have lots of things. The get more fruit and veg in your meals, the very popular activity for that at the moment is the jar with the fruit and veg. Guess how many fruit and veg are in the jar? The ladies love that. Have you all seen that activity at a showcase or an event? So we did that at International. Glenys, was that a success?
Yes, I think so. And we did it at conference.
It was a great success. Do you know why? Because I've got these little tickets here. See these little tickets here? Which we get them to guess how many fruit and veg are in the... Where's my camera? There it is. So they put their name, they put their guess, how many fruit and veg are in the jar, and then they tick whether they'd like to receive the monthly munch. And there's often a lot of general public at these things, so showcases and things. And then they put their email address. So next minute, we've got all these new names. So recently we had Yeppoon Meet and Greet, and I got nearly 40 new ones. So I had to input from International, and I had about 65 or 70 that I inputted this week that wanted to receive monthly munch, which is great, isn't it? Just from 2 events. So you can trick them up with that fruit and veg one. Glenys, at the Yeppoon meet and greet, I put about 40 beans in that jar. So that tricked them up a bit because they had trouble counting all the beans in between the other big pieces of fruit and veg.
Oh, little dried beans.
No, I put fresh beans in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I gave them to the chooks.
I was just thinking that might have been a night. Jane and I are going over to Jandawi's show to help Sheila on Saturday. Maybe we should do that.
You should, if you can, yeah. Have you got a nice glass jar or something, or bowl you can put it in?
We'll find something.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks for that idea.
I used the glass jar that I had at Yeppoon night there. It was quite a wide opening at the top, so I had this piece of orange material, so I just laid the square of orange material and tied it with some string so they couldn't get their hands in the jar. And it looked nice, it looked pretty because it was orange, of course, the country kitchens. So that was, yeah, they love that activity. All right, so down the bottom here, support. So how can we help you to promote the 5 key messages? So if you've got anything that you need, you think, oh, well, I'm going to partner with the school and we're going to do little workshops with the kids every fortnight, I wouldn't mind my own A-frame or my own flag or a nice supply of a little show bag for the kids to take home to their parents with some recipe cards or whatever. So that's where you'll write that. And then submit the form to your division president, who will forward on to the regional facilitators. And once again, all information will be used to report the program achievements to Queensland Health. So it's most important. Now we'll just go back to here. So I'm going to log in. Don't know why it's got that there. This is what you'll do when you go to do your branch report online, and then you won't need to print anything out. It'll go straight through. I better get the password right or we'll be in trouble. All right, so here I am. Welcome facilitators. This page should come up once you're logged in. And here, right here, submit and view your monthly reports here. So we click on that purple tab. It says, hello, Rachael. Yours won't say hello, Rachael. And then click on the next purple tab. So to add a new report. So we'll pretend we're doing that. And here you go. So you fill this in here. So like we talked about, it's already the 20th of March. So in a couple of weeks, you will do your report for March and you'll put March there, year, same information as on the paper version. And you just tick here, monthly munch, healthy recipe promotion, describing the healthy catering guidelines, just like on the paper version. Showcases, anything you might have done in that month. Potential partnerships in that box there. And yeah, the name of any agencies or partners that you are hoping to partner with. Then you'll put your community activity details in there. And it's nice to describe what worked well and maybe even what didn't work well. Maybe sometimes there's things that you think, oh gosh, I won't do that again, or I might do that differently. So it's nice to share that with us so that we know which key messages were promoted in your activity, any support that you need as mentioned. And if you know, this is helpful because we're having trouble locating all of the kitchen tubs and promotional gear and knowing where they are within the region. Because as you know, the regions are large and we're just in the process of, again, trying to really concrete in where everything is. And once we do know that, then the division presidents should have a copy of that and should be able to keep an eye on where the promotional gear is for each division to share, and any additional comments. So once all that's filled in, you just click submit down at the bottom, and that's it, all done. Any questions with that web page? No? Judy, did you have something to add or not? No?
Yeah, I haven't tried recently, but it wasn't working properly for me. But I think it's the glitches that I'm done, but I haven't sort of played around with it since I've been home.
All right. Well,
I'll do it again just to see, because it was a few glitches and it wasn't sort of going.
I had another lady today who said she had a bit of trouble as well recently with it. So I understand it's working properly, but we have a team meeting tomorrow morning, so it would be good to mention that, Judy. Would you mind doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that we can.
Yep.
Yeah, so that we can double check that it's all working well, but it should be working fine. So that shouldn't be a problem. And if you haven't, or you know someone who's a facilitator that hasn't re-registered online, so this is the non-paper version, they need to go to the Join Us tab here, become a facilitator, sign up today, and then you just fill in this and submit it. So that's got all the personal, it's got all my personal details in there. Look at that. And then you just submit that, okay? That won't say update, that'll say submit. So I hope that all makes sense. Now, does anyone have any other, gosh, time went quick. Does anyone else have any other questions or comments, etc.? Glenys, did you have any other comments or questions at all down with Jane?
No, that's all. Yeah,
All
thank
good?
you so much, Rachel.
I hope all that made sense.
I hope it has too, because, you know, it's a bit of a, you know, people do find it a little bit difficult. But anyway, hopefully that helped.
Yeah, I hope some people might be able to watch the version later. We can share that today's video with them. Cynthia, I would say your little camera on your, are you on a laptop? It might need, does it need a clean or something? See at the top of the laptop screen, are you on a laptop?
Yeah, yes.
See the little, there should be a little tiny round camera at the top. Can you see one on yours?
No.
You can't. It might need a clean.
Oh, wait. Oh, a little black thing. There's a little black thing. No, that's a lock.
Ah.
She hasn't got it on the side, has she? Like
Sometimes they're on
the side.
Yeah, sometimes a little camera.
There's a zoom. On the left-hand side, there's a zoom, and then there's a little blue thing next to it.
So it's not on your actual.
On your iPad.
Yeah, it's not actually on the screen that we're looking at. It's sort of on the device itself. There should be a little camera. Mine's really tiny, a little tiny round one at the top.
That's right. Yep.
Anyway, maybe when we've all finished, give your whole screen a wipe down and see if that'll make difference next time.
Okay.
All right, ladies. Well, if there's no more questions, we might go for late lunch. I haven't had lunch yet. Have you?
No.
And thank you so much for joining today. It was really lovely to see you all.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Take care.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.